Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am Lanolin, and we are back with episode 37 of my modded Minecraft Let's Play series. And look, I finally added glass and stuff. Looks nice. So a bit of time has passed in between the previous episode and this episode because I wanted to get a little bit of work done off camera as far as getting ready for our next build, because we're going to do some really cool stuff coming up. Now, because a good amount of time has passed, I have accumulated a nice amount of wood. Now, not a ton of time has passed. Only like, I don't know, I think maybe a day, 2 days. But enough time that I've done some work and allowed this thing to run. Also keeping in mind that I have this on a server now. Woot. But I shut it off whenever I'm not actually like doing anything. So anyway, we have a lot of wood. So we need to upgrade these barrels. Now that being said, we have a lot of apples. I'm really surprised at the amount of apples we have. I haven't added any luminizers yet, just because I have to reopen the portal to Alfheim to do that. And I don't really want to do that right now, so I'm just going to kind of hold out on that. We are also all full on carrots, potatoes, and wheat. Not quite seeds. I thought this would hold more. I guess just standard oak drawers don't hold that much. Again, I kind of figured that they would hold 64 stacks of 64 with like a barrel, but I guess you need to upgrade them for that. Sheep are still doing really well. I ran out of mana, but we have a nice amount of wool, so I'm just kind of letting them sit there. And before I continue down this corridor, I remind you that I have been doing some work off camera for our next build. So, some things have changed. Now, I mentioned in the previous episode we were going to start with AE soon. Applied Energistics, one of my favorite mods, and I decided to go ahead and build some stuff up in preparation for that. Now, this is going to be our Applied Energistics drive room. Also set up some cool fancy signs, which I really like. They're pretty easy to make, as you can see. Just oak wood label, sign, and a piece of paper. Now, I didn't set them up on camera just because they're not hard, but it takes a little bit of practice. You can do all sorts of things, like make them have different colors, italic. It's pretty nice. I got one over here, Lanolin, owner and president of Lanotech. And the agriculture stuff is marked. And actually, I mentioned that we were going to augment the tree farm with Botania, and I will admit, I totally forgot. But that's okay. We'll actually go ahead and do that today once we work on our barrel upgrades, which I actually already have prepared. I figured I would just make a whole bunch. I think 8. Yeah. Pretty easy to make, as you saw. And then the template is just any type of drawer surrounded by sticks. Now, these are going to upgrade our barrels. I'm actually not sure. I think it'll double it, which is pretty good for now. I'll more than likely add more upgrades in the future. But again, I don't know. I don't need to have like a ridiculous amount of resources. Oh, man. I hit shift by mistake. Sometimes I forget that I have to let it carry me the whole way. And then drop me off. So yeah, these guys are obviously off because there's no need for them to run. But if I right-click on this, ooh, upgrade. Now it should hold much, much more. And I'm going to turn the farms back on. And they should actually quickly... There we go. Nice. Now, downside is just is going to kind of hurt my FPS while it's eating all this. Just a tad. Although, I guess it's not too bad. All right, run back up here. I'm going to toss upgrades in this one, but not in the apples. It's probably going to be a hot minute before we have enough. So, all of this, we have a lot of wood. I might actually I might need to upgrade this again because of all this wood. In the future... I'm probably, because this guy's all full of wood and stuff too, so we got to do something with all this wood. We have a ton of oak wood now, and obviously, as you can see, this thing will kind of artificially stop itself. I guess that's not artificially. I guess that's more, whatever, stop itself. Or organically, there you go. I think it's organically. It'll organically stop itself, because it'll just get full, and then just kind of stop working. And that will probably be something that we will kind of exploit more in the future. The fact that things just kind of cease functioning once they no longer have some place to send their product. So keep that in mind for future builds. Keep that in mind. So anyway, moving forward, as I said, I want to work on some Applied Energistics. As you can see, I mean, we've got a lot of inventory that we're starting to collect. Oh, it looks so nice when they're all getting ready to grow. I love it. So anyway, yeah, we have a lot of inventory that we need to keep track of, and I don't really like running all over the base. Now, I like having huge bases, but I also like having some place at my base, or in my base, or compound, as we move even larger, where I have like a central access to everything. And then with Applied Energistics, that is actually possible. Now, if you've never worked with Applied Energistics, it's probably one of the coolest mods in modded Minecraft. Like, in my opinion, of course. Some people might disagree, but in my opinion, it definitely completely like changes a lot of the like normal types of hurdles that you would have to jump once you get to kind of mid to late game Minecraft, especially modded Minecraft, when you have huge inventory. So to get started with this, we actually already did a little bit. We went ahead and made the charger. Now the charger is really important, and if you don't remember, here's the recipe. Pretty straightforward. It requires these Fluix crystals, which are, of course, those are the pure ones. We're not worried about the pure ones yet, but it requires those Fluix crystals. These guys. 1 charged Certus quartz, 1 nether quartz, and 1 redstone dust into some water. Now this one thankfully only takes a sec. There we go, I have some ready. And I made some more charged Certus quartz crystals just in case we need a few more. So like I said, this is what we need to make ourselves some of the those purple crystals. Alright, sorry about that. And, oops, actually not sand. Not sand. We need nether quartz. You need sand, actually, for something else that we will get to probably shortly. So anyway, you just toss these guys in here, and they should quickly turn into a bunch of little purple crystals. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. Nice. 18. So it's nice that we get 2 per 1 charged crystal, because yeah, we need a lot of these guys going forward. A lot. A ton. An absolute buttload. The pure ones are actually the better ones, but the pure ones actually take a long time. Now, this is what I needed the sand for. If you take a Fluix seed made from Fluix dust and sand into a pot of water to make the process faster, add crystal growth accelerators. So this is what we're going to be working on today. We're going to be working on making the process faster to create these pure Fluix crystals. And we have to do this for a few guys, so we can also make the pure Certus crystals and pure nether quartz crystals, which again, we'll worry about later. But for now, we need more of these guys. So what was mentioned in here, the crystal growth accelerators are, of course, going to speed up this pure Fluix crystal process. So these. Da, 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 da. Now, I'd really like to show you guys how long this takes, but it seriously takes an incredible amount of time. Like slow, like these guys slow. And these guys are pretty freaking slow. On Endstone, they're not that slow, actually. Something I found out. But anyway. So anyway, let's see what we need. We need to make ourselves some glass cables, quartz glass, Fluix block. That's not too bad. Okay, well, first things first, we need to supply this thing with power. Now, I actually went ahead and made a spot for this thing to go. Oh, actually, before I go do that, let me grab this guy, and let's hop down here. Now, I did, again, a little bit more renovations off camera, and if we turn to the left now, oh, actually, as you'll see, my lever is over here. Turn to the left, ooh, little space. So this little plus sign right here is eventually going to be where we put these crystal growth accelerators. Now, there's multiple ways that you can do this, but the way that I'm going to do this is, well, the only way that I know how to do this. So I'm going to do it this way. So, you know, stay mad. So first things first, we're going to actually need a little bit of power up to right here. Now, thankfully, this little guy's right here already. Now, Applied Energistics stuff, this block, this crystal growth accelerator block, doesn't accept power from traditional energy conduits. Or any Applied Energistics stuff does not accept power from traditional energy conduits. They need energy acceptors. This is going to convert the power into usable resources for Applied Energistics. It's pretty fancy, it's pretty nice, it's also pretty straightforward to make. Just 1 Fluix crystal and some other stuff that we're going to make right about now. So let's run upstairs and get to work. Okay, actually, before we even get started, before I forget, I want to show you guys augmenting this this wood farm, this tree farm, with Botania. It's really simple. I'm sure if you went ahead and made the stuff, you're probably able to figure it out if you didn't know how to do it already. Just put the aggro-carnation down, put down a mana pool, and give it mana. Pretty sure that's all you need to do. Wait, you have a mana pool. It's right there. What are you doing? Why are you so mad? Well, there it goes. There, it just needed to be just needs to be connected to it. It is literally as simple as that. Just right-click on the flower, right-click on this guy, and look how quick these things are growing now. That tree just popped up. Actually, I should back up so I don't get stuck in a tree. But again, it's not going to increase it like crazy amounts where it's like popping up trees every 10 seconds. But it's going to increase it enough that we should see a noticeable difference in the amount of wood that we're accumulating. And saplings and apples and all that fun stuff. And of course, once it runs out of mana, whoop, there went one. Once it runs out of mana, it will of course stop. Oh, there went another tree. Ooh, that was a huge tree. Nice. And how are we doing here? Are we full? We are already full. So I will have to create another upgrade. Can I use you to make better upgrades? Can I not? Oh, that sucks. So I guess you only can use the upgrade template and then... That's not too bad. So 3 times and then 5, 8, 13 times. Wow. Oh, and this will actually show how much... Oh, that's cool. If it's full or not. So you don't have to actually like walk up to it. Ooh, and this will show the fill level. I think that'll actually show like a bar. Wow, 2 huge trees. Well, there you go, man. There's Botania right there. I don't know if Botania has anything to do with 2 huge trees growing, but it definitely speeds the process up. So there you go. That's the more completed tree farm with Botania like I had promised. Again, I'm sorry I kind of forgot about Botania, but it was cruising along in the previous episode, so it kind of slipped my mind. So now it is complete, and now we can return to Applied Energistics. Okay, so I went ahead and decided to actually make a storage upgrade since I actually had the templates already in the crafting table already, and I also decided to make that shows fill level status upgrade. Pretty simple to make. I mean, redstone comparators are a little bit irritating just because you got to make a bunch of redstone torches, but it's not too bad. So let's go ahead and toss that on there. Now that's going to be 5 times normal capacity, so I don't know what that is, but it's going to be a huge amount. And then this guy, ooh, look, see, it shows bar. It shows a little bar, just so you can just kind of walk by and be like, all right, I got a while to go before that guy fills up. Super freaking cool. I love it. Nice. There. So this guy is totally good to go. Shouldn't have any more issues with this guy. Again, this will more than likely fill up, but we still have a bunch more upgrades to go before we need to really worry about having excess. And what's something else that I actually noticed is there's also a void upgrade, meaning that if you ever get to the point where you max this thing out, you're sitting at 13 times base value storage upgrade, and you just don't know what to do with the rest of your stuff, and you're just too lazy to turn off your machinery to make it stop making stuff, well, there you go. Void upgrades. Just destroys excess items. Super cool. Nice. All right, so we can let this guy go. And again, in the future, we're probably going to do something with this, with the wood, other than, make stuff. Obviously, probably turning into charcoal and then using the charcoal for something. I'm not super sure yet. I'm sure I'll find something. In the past, I would actually use the charcoal for railcraft boilers, which, again, I might go ahead and do just because railcraft boilers are really cool. Oh, yeah, there's this little area up here that I ended up making by mistake, just putting the ceiling in. I'm like, oh, nice, a room up here. So I went ahead and got rid of the stairs that were here and just attached them up here. So good times. I thought it was pretty clever. So anyway, let us carry on with Applied Energistics before this episode runs too long and I have to stop. So we want to get ourselves, the whole goal of this episode, and probably the next episode, is to create these guys, these crystal growth accelerators, as I have mentioned. The purpose of these crystal growth accelerators is to accelerate the process in which these pure Certus quartz crystals are created. Currently, if we were to make them manually by just tossing them into a puddle of water, like it says here, it'll take forever. Like, I think it takes like real world time, like an hour or plus. It's a long time. It sucks. So one of the first things you want to do is definitely make these crystal growth accelerators. I'm going to make 4. Now to make these 4, we have to do a little bit of work. Now these Fluix blocks are pretty simple, so we can actually go ahead and knock this out right now. Bam. time. Now, unfortunately, that only leaves us with 2 flux crystals. We can make more, but we only have 30 Certus Quartz crystals total. Now, I did make extra charged Certus Quartz crystals just in case I needed more, so we're doing okay as far as flux crystals go, so no worries. However, we do only have 30 Certus Quartz crystals and a lot of stuff we need to make. Again, we're going to use a ton of them to the point where eventually we're going to have, I'm going to use a mod out there to gather Certus Quartz specifically. Just Certus Quartz. It's going to be pretty fun, but that's kind of like far down the line. We're not worried about that yet. So anyway, do I want to do this down here? Or, actually, no. Oh yeah, did you see this? I thought this was kind of nice. I wasn't sure what to do about this, and I figured since it actually kind of lined up perfectly, I figured I'd just kind of make it into a looky-loo or something, like a cheaty way to get down there. I don't know. But anyway, I did not actually mean to go down there. My bad, my bad. So what we need to do, actually, is we need to grind up this Certus Quartz dust, or the Certus Quartz into dust, because we need to make these IMI glass cables, which, again, are a pretty important part of Applied Energistics. Now, we're going to need some more of these freaking crystals, which, again, it's all good, but we're going to need quartz fiber. Quartz fiber is also pretty important. Now, to make this stuff, we need this dust. Blech. Making this dust is pretty straightforward, but, you know, it requires you to do some work. And, of course, we need the glass. The glass is the worst part, because you need 5 dust and, of course, a bunch of glass. So, what you basically need to do is grind up a bunch of quartz. Now, nether quartz is much, much easier to get than Certus Quartz crystals. So, what we're going to do, actually, because this stuff calls for dust, you can obviously use another quartz dust. So, we're going to toss this stuff into the sag mill. Oh yeah, by the way, you can actually augment this thing by using flint. It's pretty nice. So if you have a bunch of flint, you don't know what to do with it, just toss it into your sag mill. Look at that. Isn't it awesome? Yeah. And it even provides power reduction. So also keep that in mind, definitely. So I'm going to toss a whole bunch of these guys in here. I'm probably going to, I promise you, I will probably end up needing to toss the rest of this nether quartz in here. But I'm going to hold off for now, just, you know, fingers crossed, maybe I don't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let all this stuff crush up. I'm going to get the crafting recipes ready for all this stuff, and then I will be back. Alright, so we're back, and I'm going to show you guys the long way of making the pure Certus Quartz crystals. So, the first thing that you want to do to make these pure Certus Quartz crystals is obviously grind them up, because you want to mix them with the sand. So, this is the way that we're going to try and avoid doing that. But, if you unfortunately wanted to start off, or not unfortunately, if you really wanted to start off with Applied Energistics really early, and you happen to not have a bunch of Certus Quartz crystals, or you're just limited, basically, on resources, but you still really want an Applied Energistics system, you can do it. And here's how. You basically just take... Now, obviously, in the future, we're actually going to use these pure versions of the Certus... The pure versions of the Certus Quartz crystals, because they... It doubles, as you can see. You get 2 seeds for 1 dust. So it's obviously worth it to convert these guys, especially since the Certus Quartz crystals are fairly rare. Some mod authors will say that they're not that rare, but they're pretty rare. So anyway, next thing we have to do is, let me double check. I'm pretty sure now we just toss them into the water. Drop a Certus Quartz seed made from Certus Quartz dust and sand into a puddle of water. Yeah. So yeah, you just take the seed and you toss it into a puddle of water. Oops. It takes a very, very long time. So let's get back to work. Now it says on there it won't despawn. So you know, actually let me pick it back up and point it out. I guess that'd be the wise idea. So even in that little bit of time that it's spent in there, no progress has even happened. So yeah, this item won't despawn. If you're familiar with Minecraft mechanics, anything that stays in the world as an entity like that for longer than 5 minutes will despawn. So you know that this will definitely take at least 5 minutes if it says that it specifically will not despawn. However, I know for a fact that it takes much, 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 much longer than 5 minutes. So be ready for that. So while we're working, we're going to let that go. Probably something that I should have taken care of at the beginning of the episode, but I didn't think about it. So anyway, let's grab our Certus Quartz fiber. Pretty straightforward. I'm only going to grab 6 for now because I don't want to waste the dust if I don't need to. Grab ourselves some Certus Quartz glass. I'm pretty sure I'm going to need all of this, so I'm just going to grab all of it. And with this, let's grab ourselves... Ooh, achievements, Fluix Energy Connection. I'm pretty sure I'm going to need all that. So I'm just going to hold on to that quartz fiber for now, and then move down to here. Add this, add this. Now that should give us our first crystal growth accelerator. Nice. So let's toss the rest in there. Bam. Accelerator is an understatement. Yes, that is very true. It definitely increases it exponentially, to say the least. All right, now last 4 glass goes to the energy acceptor. Perfect. Wow, I didn't even do that on purpose. I wasn't sure if I was going to need more or not. So yeah, nice. Hopefully we have enough glass cable, because like I said, we got to hook all this stuff up, and the glass cable is like the conduit of Applied Energistics. It's used for pretty much everything, because not only does it transfer energy, it also transfers data, and that's very important for Applied Energistics, because AE is all about data. So first things first, we got to put down our energy acceptor right there. As you can see, it'll connect up, and we can see in Wayla, or maybe not. Just kidding. But anyway, it should be connected up. So next thing we can do is go ahead and put these Fluix cables down like that. I'm pretty sure it's not a big deal that they connect like that. And then on top of these guys, we can do that. Oh man, they're turning on. Whoops. There we go. Now they're on. Now these guys actually use a ton of power all on their own. We should actually see them draining this thing pretty... maybe not. This guy? Can we see? There we go. Look at that. That was up to 1,000. Then it kicked off. Are you keeping up? So everyone's actually able to keep up no problem. But these guys are definitely... Oh, they're not even on. See how it's spiking? These guys definitely use a big chunk of power. But lucky for us, we have a nice, powerful power generation right now. So they're not really affecting our power at the moment. But if we were to leave them on all the time, we would quickly run out of power, and these guys would quickly turn on, and we would burn through all of our fuel, and it would just be sad times. And if we left them on, this stuff would eventually turn on for sure. We just have a nice backstock of power. So anyway, we want to be able to turn these guys on and off. So what we're going to do is... Oh yeah, we need to... Oh yeah, and that's why this guy doesn't have any space. It needs to be water in there, but... No water on me. Not a big deal. So anyway, what I'm going to do is come back in a moment, and we're going to worry about turning these guys on and off. So the tool that we're going to use to deal with turning these guys on and off, since we can't use the Ender conduits, obviously, or the Ender IO conduits like we did with all of our other stuff, we're going to use this guy, the ME toggle bus. Now, this functions much the same way like a lever, except we're going to need a lever to activate it. So let's go take a look. So what this is going to do, actually the first thing we need to do is move this guy back one, because we need to access part of the wiring. There we go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this toggle bus and put it right on top. Look at that. It is a multi-block part. It's pretty freaking nifty. And then what we're going to do is grab ourselves a factory block. And do we have our chisel? Oh man, we need to make another one. I've been using this thing like crazy. It's cheap, but damn. I'm pretty sure you can make a diamond one, actually, but I'm not really worried about it. So let's toss that guy in there. We're using the rusty metal plates because they look super awesome. So yeah, we're going to put a block right on top of this guy, and then what we're going to do is put a lever on top of here. Now, I guess I'm going to have to make a little hole. Now, as you can see, it's black, right? Got the little black mark on it. We're going to hop up. Now it's blue. Woo! That's how we know it's working. So now what we can do is we can toss these crystal growth accelerators back on here. Whoops. Yeah, make sure this plus part is up. See, they're on, you know. Oh man, it's on. We don't want them to be on. We're not using them, you know. We want them to be off. So now we can flip our switch. And they stay on. Because that means we did something wrong. Why are you staying on, actually? Huh. I'm not really sure why they're on still. Give me a second. I'll come back. Okay, I'm back and I fixed it. So one thing I should actually mention. It's a really good idea to use a wrench to remove these guys and not the pick, because I don't know for sure, but I swear these things have a chance to break and you don't get it back. I've never been able to confirm this because I've never bothered to actually look and confirm it for sure. But I'm just going to say, try to use a wrench. I mean, if you want to use a pick, go for it. But I swear there's a chance that you'll lose the conduit, or the cable. I mean, it's glass cable and it even makes a breaking sound. See? I mean, I got it back, but I swear there's a chance that you don't get it back. So anyway, as I was saying, this toggle bus actually needs to be connected to the energy acceptor like that. And then like this, because see what you're doing is you're breaking the signal. See how it's on, and then I jump up here, flip the switch, and they turn off. Nice. Takes a second for them to turn off, but they turn off. Because yeah, you're breaking the energy signal. You're breaking the data up, which is perfect. It's exactly what we want to do. So I'm going to actually make another one of these guys. Because we need water, obviously. We still need water. Even with the growth accelerators, we still need to make sure that we have water in the center for our crystal guys to grow. Or our pure fluid quartz crystals to grow. So, dink, let's put that right there. Now, in the future, there is a way to automate this, so all we have to do is just push a button and it'll give us what we need. But we'll worry about that in the future times. For now, we're just going to make this thing work semi-manually. Cool. So now, let's go see how our other guys are doing all by themselves. And we can grab ourselves a bucket of water while we're out there. This episode's probably a little bit long, but it's all good. So let's see how much progress we've made. We have made almost none. 2%. Yeah. And as far as cuts go, the cuts were like minimal amounts of time, like less than a minute. In some cases, less than 10 seconds. Like in the case of this. Yeah, less than 10 seconds to fix that. So anyway, we are going to take care of this awful time sink that is the Certus Quartz seeds. 2% in what was probably about 15 minutes is not very good. So let's dump some water in here, toss these seeds in here, turn these puppies on. Now, one thing we should also keep in mind is this is another, whoops, this is also another one of those magnet-free zones. So we're going to want to get another Solagnolia and put him over here as well. We can glass this up, which I'll probably do that as well here right now. There we go. Let's get some... Actually, no, we can't even really do that, huh? Because we still got to toss it in here manually and everything. So yeah, let's not even glass this up. So yeah, off camera, I'll probably make another Solagnolia and toss him over here with a mana pool just to make sure that our magnet's not causing problems. Also, I actually need to toss in here and grab this glass. So let's see how much progress we've made. We're now at 37%. That is how much of a difference these crystal growth accelerators make. Hell yeah. That's amazing. So I'm going to let these grow, and I'm going to come back and see what we can do in whatever amount of time we have left. And so we have run out of time, but I did come back to show you guys that our crystals are done. So let's turn these guys off. Look at that. Now we have 8 pure Certus Quartz crystals, which of course can be used for all the same stuff that everything else can. So let's see how our power is doing. Still doing just fine, but as you can see, these guys kicked back on, meaning that we started burning through fuel. These guys are now on. As you can see, they're lit up and going. These guys have turned on. So yeah, definitely we're cruising through some power. Unfortunately, this guy, the power monitor doesn't seem to be properly able to kind of watch the power go through, just because I think it's because we have this energy cell here and it's kind of breaking everything up, so it's not really able to see how much power is really being used, but that's okay. That is okay. In the future, that'll be something that'll be fixed, or I'll fix it rather. So where do we want to put our Solagnolia? Before we go, I figured we'd put it down, and I thought like right here might actually be a good spot. Because I noticed I tend to grab this stuff too sometimes when I'm walking by. This guy doesn't quite reach all the way over here, so I think right here might be a good spot. So just like before, put our mana pool down there, toss our mana tablet down there, just wait a little bit. Waiting a little bit. Alright, that's a little bit. And then we can toss him on there, and boom. There, and he's working. Nice. So now we shouldn't have any worries about, you know, picking stuff up out of here, because the Solagnolia should take care of any type of stuff like that. So Thanks for watching, guys. I have been Lanolin. This has been episode 37 of my modded Minecraft Let's Play series. We did a lot of work in this episode, actually. We finished up the tree farm build because I kind of forgot they had the Botania stuff. We went ahead and upgraded the barrels all across the board in the agriculture part of our base because they were all full. And then finally we got started with AE after, I don't know, 37 episodes of using chests like a pleb. So, thanks for watching, guys. Coming up in the next episode, we're going to work a little bit more on Applied Energistics. I'm trying to work towards being able to store all of my stuff using Applied Energistics. No longer will we need all these almost full chests, and in some cases, full chests. So again, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next episode, in episode 38. A zombie! Thanks for watching. Bye.